HSSN Sports. Enter your PIN number. PIN number 4444 is for broadcast WPIAL baseball, Ringgold at Laurel Highlands. Press 1 to start broadcasting. If this is not your game, your broadcast has started. Waiting momentarily for your streaming to start.
And Facebook Live being brought to you by. It's time for another C.R. Barada Group High School Sports Day. Coverage of high school baseball here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live being brought to you by the C.R. Barada Group. Fayette County Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta. Uniontown Detailing. The Centers for Rehab Services and Physical Therapist, Jim Burns. State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman. General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. M&R Transit. The Radcliffe Law Firm. The Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes. Potter's Bar and Grill. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. Ted Sova and Son Body and Fender Repair. Shop and Save Walnut Hill Uniontown. The Somerset Trust Company. The Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood. NovaCare Rehabilitation. Jimmy John's in Uniontown. Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law. Peachin's Pharmacy. KC Sports Cafe. M&R Transit. Ford of Uniontown. And by Mama Ruka's Pizza Shop. Now stay tuned for high school baseball action here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. From Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, it's time for high school baseball action here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. And after a delay yesterday, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the Ringgold Rams getting set to go at it. As always, our pregame show being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. They'll get you ready for the game. They're located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, and Gary, Laurel Highlands off to a 1-2 start overall. They're 1-2 in conference play. Ringgold 1-2 overall, and they lost their conference opener to Laurel Highlands on Monday by a score of 3-0.
And these games are all back-to-back this season. A little bit of a strange schedule here in the WPIAL, but it allows the teams to get good scouting reports for the second game and also provide some influence as far as the pitching goes for each one of those games. And as you said, the Mustangs losing that doubleheader down at West Mifflin, getting off to a bad start at 0-2, but coming back with that victory here against Ringgold. So it will be interesting to see what happens today. The Mustangs need to get their bats moving. And,
you're certainly right about that.
And that would certainly help with the pitching situation if they could put up some more runs.
Well, you go back to last week, Gary, you mentioned the Mustangs losing that doubleheader to West Mifflin. They did bounce back, though, on Monday. Joe Chambers got the start, went 5 1/3 innings. Braden O'Brien came on in relief as the Mustangs shut out Ringgold 3-0.
And as you said, the Mustangs did play Ringgold on Monday, and it will be interesting to see because the Mustangs did throw their ace on Monday with the little help there in the last inning for relief, but Chambers will not be available to pitch here today, so the Mustang staff will have to put out another good outing, and I'm sure Ringgold will certainly be looking forward to some different pitching expertise from the Mustangs here today.
Yeah, Devin Kravosky against Remington Lessman, your matchup on the mound. Your thoughts there, Gary?
Well, they're both young guys, and it's going to be an interesting thing with Lessman coming in. He's a junior, and he'll have his first start here at Hutchinson, and both teams playing at Hutchinson Field for the first time here today. Might take a little bit of time to get used to the mound here today, and we want to send out some kudos to the South Union Township workers for getting his field in shape here today. But going back to the Mustangs, putting Lessman for Ringgold on the mound, and for the Mustangs, it's going to be
Devin
Kravosky, and he's going to have his work cut out for him to try to keep the Ringgold Rams off the base. He's just a sophomore, and they're going to have to rely on him for some extensive innings throughout this season here in high school baseball.
Well, Ringgold's going to lead things off here, Gary, in the top half of the first inning. Why don't you set their lineup?
Sure. For the Ringgold Rams, leading off number 24, Lorenzo Glasser. He's going to be playing at second base. Batting second, number 7, Joe Pusateri. He's going to play center field. Batting third, the number 2, the third baseman, Chad Barrett. In the cleanup spot, number 19, Gianni Cantini. He's the shortstop. Batting fifth, number 13, Hunter Mamie. He's the catcher. Batting sixth, number 30, Remington Lessman on the mound for Ringgold. Batting seventh, number 17, Ashton Ray. He will play first base. The DH in the eighth spot, number 11, Brad Banaszak. And rounding out that lineup, number 16, Mason Seuss. Is that how we said that?
Correct.
Make Seuss, and he will be playing right field.
Defensively for Laurel Highlands, they'll have Carson D'Amico in left, Ben Diamond in center, and Caleb Janoski in right. Round the horn, Braden McKnight playing third, Ty Sankovic playing short, Frank Kula playing second, and Braden O'Brien on first, Evan Kravosky on the mound, and Tristan McCoy is catching. We'll be back with the first pitch right after this. Laurel Highlands hosting Ringgold from Hutchinson Field in Hopwood here on WMBS and on the Triple Live High School Sports Network.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $299 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 27 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends April 4th, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-929-8000.
Does your car sound like it's saying, "Trade me in, trade me in," every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchased your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in, trade me in." Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Orthopedic and Spine Institute is open, and their experienced providers are ready to care for you. Orthopedic and spine care spans a wide range of problems, from arthritis to joint trauma caused by injury or overuse. Hips, shoulders, knees, and backs are the most common areas where patients experience pain or impaired function. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, they can treat orthopedic and spine problems with state-of-the-art care. Their board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists are well experienced in the latest treatments for damaged and diseased joints. They offer everything from physical therapies to joint repairs and joint replacements. Whenever possible, the newest, minimally invasive techniques are used to ensure quicker recovery, less pain, and less damage to surrounding tissues. To learn more about the newly opened Orthopedic and Spine Institute at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, or to schedule an appointment, call 724-912-7533 or visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, the new us, here for you.
Welcome back to WMBS and the Trib Live Sports Network. We're just about ready for high school baseball, getting the final warm-ups in. Devin Kravosky on the mound. His battery mate Tristan McCoy, and Ringgold will be bringing up Lorenzo Glasser, Joe Pusateri, Chad Barrett, and Gianni Cantini in that cleanup spot, Brian.
I like this view, Gary, right behind home plate here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, certainly on top of all of the action. Mustangs in the home lights, red numbers, blue caps, Ringgold in the away dark blues, gray numbers, gold trim. Again, the Rams will bat here in the top half of the first inning.
We mentioned that the game is being played here at Hutchinson, and that might be a little bit of a home field advantage for the Mustangs because most of these guys play on the Legion team, and this is where the Legion has their home field, so not be an unusual circumstance for them.
Well, Jerry Dupay's under the weather. I'm going to start the game, Gary, here behind the camera. I think Tony Hanola is going to be helping us out this afternoon as well for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the Ringgold Rams. Important game for Laurel Highlands as well, Gary, because they'll have a little bit of a lull here before conference play resumes April the 19th against Bell Vernon. You'd much rather sit during that little bit of a layoff at 2-2 in the conference instead of 1-3.
Absolutely, and the left-hander, Devin Kravoski, will have to get it done here for the Mustangs as he faces Glasser with the opening pitch outside for ball one.
You're right, they did a great job getting this field playable here today. Actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think the might be a little clumpy in the grass infield. Might see some strange hops, but other than that, it's fantastic. There's a fly ball to center field, and coming in is Diamond, and he will make the shallow catch there in center field for the first out.
And good job defensively there for Laurel Highlands. Also have to thank Frank Kula helping us out with the score hub today as well.
Just 2 pitches there for Kravoski, and that will certainly help things out.
Of course, same pitching rules as last year, limited to 100 pitches in a given game. You can finish throwing to the batter that you're facing once you get to the 100 mark.
And coming up, Joe Pusateri, the center fielder, and he nubs one off to the right for strike one. So ahead in the count again is Kravoski.
And even though the Mustangs played West Mifflin last week, Ringgold did not play any conference action. Split a pair of games against California and Plum.
0-1 breaking pitch, catches the outside corner for strike two. Nice pitch there. As you said, great perspective here behind home plate for us. 0-2 pitch. Strike three called on the outside part of the plate, and I'm sure Pusateri didn't like that, but Kravoski gets the call with another 3-pitch out. So he's just at 5 pitches with 2 batters down, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Chad Barrett.
That was pretty close there, Gary, on the corner.
Absolutely. You can't take that pitch. Fastball this time in for a strike. So hitting that strike zone here early is Kravoski.
Looks very confident.
Good velocity, too, on that left-hander. That one's in the dirt low for 1-1. Keep him honest. You don't want to be in that strike zone all the time. 1-1 count just underway here at Hutchison Field. Fastball swinging, a little foul tip, so 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Mustangs scheduled to play a non-conference game on Friday against Trinity. It'll be a 6 o'clock start at W&J. We'll have it for you here on WMBS.
1-2 pitch. Just misses low and outside. Good placement there by Kravoski. 2-2, 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Next week we'll have a series between the Uniontown Red Raiders and Elizabeth Ford. Both those teams off to nice starts as well this year.
Absolutely. Another foul back, so hanging tough there. Barrett got a piece of that one to stay alive.
Red Raiders 3-1 in the conference. They swept Bell Vernon last week, won on a walk-off on Saturday, and got a one-hitter on the mound during their opening game on Wednesday, and then split with Greensburg-Salem earlier on this week.
2-2 pitch once again from the windup. There's a hopper down to short. Sankovic up with it. Strong arm over to first, and the Mustangs put down the Ringgold Rams 1-2-3 in the top of the first. We'll be back with the bottom of the first and the Mustangs first at bat after these messages here on Trib Live Sports.
And the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports
That's
Day.
right.
I'm attorney Rob Harper, and I'm happy to be joining Bill Martin and Tripp Radcliffe at Radcliffe Law in Uniontown. I grew up in Uniontown and chose to make Fayette County my home. I also represent the county as an assistant district attorney, and I know my way around a courtroom. If you are hurt in an accident, buying or selling a home, need assistance with an estate or will preparation, call me at Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. The initial consultation is free. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Sova & Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 59th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Sova & Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Sova & Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Sova and Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 59 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Sova and Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
Here we go with the bottom half of the second. Bottom half of the first. Getting ahead of myself a little bit there, Brian. Brian Rozek and Gary Frankhauser. Brian doing it all. Scorekeeping, commentating, running the camera.
I'm doing the commercials, too.
That's right.
We're exclusive on Facebook Live for the first hour. The radio audience will join us at 5 o'clock. Again, with the last-minute changes here to the game, we were lucky just to get on the air, I think, on any platform today.
That makes you kind of the producer, too, doesn't it?
Yes, I guess it would make me the producer, too. Tony said he's coming. Jerry's, unfortunately,
a little under the
weather. Yeah, could not make it here today. Wish Jerry the best. I think he'll be back with us on Friday. As Ty Sankovic will lead things off here for the Mustangs in the bottom of the first.
Batting left-handed, facing Lessman, and that's the strike on the outside corner. So starting it out with a good fastball, looking all the way was Sankovic. Here's the 0-1, low and outside, 1-1.
Again, the Mustang lineup, Sankovic to lead off, D'Amico in left field batting second, Alex Mclean, the DH batting third, Braden O'Brien in the cleanup spot batting fourth. He's playing first base.
1-1 offering. Catches the inside corner for strike two.
Ben Diamond in center field, batting fifth. Caleb Janoski in right, batting sixth. Tristan McCoy catching, batting seventh. Braden McKnight batting eighth and playing third. And Frank Kula playing second and batting ninth.
There's a little foul ball, so Sankovic gets a piece of that 1-2 pitch, and count remains the same. No wind at all here this afternoon.
Actually, it's a pretty nice afternoon after all the rain we had overnight.
And we're not looking for any more rain here this evening, so good afternoon for baseball. Ground ball to short. Coming up with it and firing over for the out for the Ringgold Rams was Gianni Cantini. Throw to Ashton Ray over at first, so ground ball out to start things for the Mustangs.
I would think, Gary, even with the rain in the forecast on Friday, a pretty good chance the Mustangs will play down there at W&J on the artificial surface against Trinity. It'll be nice just to get a game in. Laurel Highlands won't play again until next Thursday when they take on Connellsville. And again, they'll have a series the following Tuesday and Wednesday against Bell Vernon.
Carson D'Amico stepping in and takes a fastball in for strike one. So Lessman also showing some good control here in the first inning. Got a scoreboard action out there. Good crowd filtering in, and there's a high fly ball in the infield. And calling for it is the second baseman, and making the catch over there at second base for Ringgold was Lorenzo Glasser. So that was a major league pop-up.
Yes, it was.
But making the catch in the infield dirt was Glasser. So 2 up, 2 down for the Mustangs. And that's going to bring up Alex Mclean, the designated hitter.
We were kind of talking, Gary, among ourselves earlier in the week. It would be great if maybe in the future you might have Laurel Highlands, Uniontown, and maybe the township get together and turf the field down here, and then everybody could use it.
Shot down the third base line, foul.
Kind of divide up the costs among, different parties. Won't be as expensive. You have lights here. You can play a Laurel Highlands game at 4, Uniontown game at 7.
Might be a little challenge with scheduling, but, yeah, you could do day-night doubleheaders.
Correct. Just a thought. I don't know if the folks in charge can ever make it happen, but we always like coming down here.
Absolutely. 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for strike two. Nice slider that time by Lessman. Mustangs looking to get something started with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. There's a shot into the gap in right center, and that's going to fall in for a base hit for Alex Mclean, and he does get things started with 2 outs and brings up Braden O'Brien.
Alex certainly has been consistent, not only this year, Gary, but you go back to last year as well. Always able to come through with key hits for the Mustangs.
No doubt about that.
Talk about a guy that was spot on a season ago. Saw a lot of relief duty. That was Braden O'Brien, who's at the plate right now.
Number 22, and he's playing first base here today. Good lead out there on first base by Mclean. There's a little looper into right field, and that's going to fall for a base hit, and trying to get to third, and he will do it standing, and also allowing O'Brien to scoot into second. Good base running there by the Mustangs, and took a little bit of a chance, but early in the game, no doubt you try for third on that play.
Yeah, aggressive base running, 2 outs here in the inning, and now you have 2 in scoring position. An opportunity with Ben Diamond coming to the plate, 5th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the first.
Ben Diamond, the center fielder for the Mustangs, with an opportunity with, as you said, 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs. Curveball on the outside corner. That's an effective pitch, and Lessman finds a corner for strike 1.
A lot of folks checking in on our live stream. Bobby Ruggieri, Robert Swope, Kathy Hudock rooting on Ringgold today.
There you go. We're worldwide. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner with the fastball that time. So 0-2 now. The count to Ben Diamond. Needs to protect now. Lessman gets the signal. Shakes one off. And now a timeout call by Diamond. Kind of froze him there at home plate.
Yes. Saw a lot of that last week in that 2-game series with West Mifflin. Mustangs played a doubleheader with the Titans down at West Mifflin.
0-2 pitch. And there's a check swing, foul ball, and he catch by the receiver back there for the swinging strikeout to end the inning. So the Mustangs leave 2 in scoring position. Do not score here in the bottom of the first. We'll go to the second on the C. Harper Sports Afternoon and Trib Live streaming here on WMBS.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Freaky fast, freaky good. Order online at jimmyjohns.com or call 724-437-6800 for delivery or curbside pickup. Jimmy John's, next to Walnut Hill. Shop and save.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases, but most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis.
We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case.
If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Here we go with the top half of the second inning, leading off for Ringgold. And there's a shot down third base, and that's going to be extra bases, I believe, for Cantini as he rounds first, and he's going to try to get in. Good throw, but he just beats it. Kind of hesitated as he went around first base, but a leadoff double for the shortstop for Ringgold, Gianni Cantini.
Yeah, what a way to start off this top of the second inning. First pitch swinging right down the line and showing good hustle to get into second safely. And the Rams in business, runner in scoring position. Nobody out in a scoreless game here in the top of the second.
Catcher Hunter Mamie comes to the plate. Made a nice play to complete the strikeout to end the bottom half of the first for the Mustangs. And now Kravosky will have to work from the stretch. Trying to hold him on at second. Low and inside for ball 1 on the fastball. Mamie digging in at home plate, trying to move the runner up with nobody out. There's a ground ball down third, and that'll be foul. Evens the count at 1-1.
And Kravosky really wasn't challenged much in that top half of the first inning. Retired the Rams in order 1-2-3. Glasser flew out to center. Pusateri struck out, and then Bering grounded out 6-3 to end the inning.
So trying to work out of a little bit of a jam here in the top of the second with nobody out. Here's the 1-1. That's in the dirt. Good block there by McCoy to not allow the runner Cantini to advance.
We talked about how important this game is. Rams sitting at 0-1 in the conference. Mustangs at 1-2. And you don't want to fall behind the hole too early here. You know, it might just be the first week in April, but these games huge as far as the conference standings are concerned.
There's a high fly ball to left field, and getting under out there was D'Amico. No tag opportunity there. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Good contact there by Mamie, but a fly ball to left is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you only play 12 conference games, Gary, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're all important no matter where they fall in the schedule. They're all going to be very important. So that brings up the left-handed hitting pitcher, Remington Lessman. Open stance here at the plate. Looks at a curveball outside for ball one. So Lessman batting with the runner on at second in Cantini, and one out here in the top of the second. Still no score. Fastball high and outside, so behind in the count now, 2-0 is Kravoski.
And entering play today, Elizabeth Forward 2-0. They swept Greensburg-Salem last week. Don't have any conference games this week. Both West Mifflin and Uniontown at 3-1. Of course, the Titans swept the Mustangs and then split with Bell Vernon. Uniontown swept Bell Vernon and then split with Greensburg-Salem.
Good fastball there by Kravoski. Just tied up Lessman for the strike.
Bell Vernon sitting at 1-3. Laurel Highlands 1-2. Greensburg-Salem 1-3. And Ringgold 0-1. And today's game will be the final game this week in the conference. And every team that's had 2 weeks of scheduled games will have 4 games complete. And the teams that had the byes early on, Elizabeth Ford and Ringgold, just a week of games scheduled so far this year.
Swing and a miss for strike 2 on another fastball. So now a count evens at 2-2. Breaking pitch hangs high. Full count now with 1 out. Runner still on in at second in the form of Cantini with the leadoff double. Lessman at the plate. Full count. Here's a pitch. And really protecting there on the inside fastball. Just jammed Lessman. That probably could have been ball 4, but he took no chance and took a rip at it. So the count remains 3-2. Kravoski to Lessman. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Oh,
wow.
Ball 4 just a little bit outside. So Lessman gets the base on balls to put runners now at first and second with 1 out. Going to bring up the first baseman, Ashton Ray.
Wasn't much difference there, Gary, from that strike 3 that we saw back in the first inning.
Well,
just on the other side of the plate.
Absolutely, but we're not calling him.
Oh, no.
So Ashton Ray, the junior first baseman, swing and a miss at strike 1. The Mustangs will look for a double play ball now.
And do have an out here in the inning.
Big hole between first base and second with Kula trying to hold the runner tight at second. There's a curveball in at the letters for strike 2. So Kravoski working that breaking pitch pretty effectively here so far. Ahead 0-2 now to Ashton Ray. There's a pitch, fouled right back at us.
Still always want to flinch when you see it coming, even with the netting there.
Even though I was a catcher for many years, I still flinch. Here's the 0-2 offering once again from Kravoski, and it looked like a swing and a miss. I don't know if that was a tip or not, but caught there by McCoy, so that goes down as a swinging strikeout for the second out.
Yeah, results still the same.
Absolutely, and now with 2 outs, Brad Vanizak, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Kravoski still working from the stretch. Here's the pitch, low and inside. In the dirt, blocked nicely there by McCoy. A lot of room behind home plate here at Hutchison Field, so any kind of a wild pitch or pass ball will definitely result in allowing the runners to advance.
325 down the lines, 360 to straightaway center.
Swing and a miss. A nice pitch at the knees that time. Fastball evens the count at 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Kravoski trying to work out of a leadoff double and a 1-out walk. Here's the 1-1. Foul back, so 2 strikes now to Banaszak. Kravoski from the stretch. Gets the signal from McCoy. A little bit of a better lead out there at second by Cantini, and there's a ground ball down to third. Easy play if he could touch third, and almost didn't realize that. Down there at third base was McKnight, but he did come to his senses.
Always get used to just throwing over to first, right?
Right, taps third for the third out unassisted, and that will do it for the top of the second. No runs on 1 hit, 2 men left on base for the Ringgold Rams. Will go to the bottom of the second. Still no score here on the C. Harper Sports Afternoon on Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Looking for the highest quality products at the lowest prices? Shop and save on Walnut Hill in Uniontown has the widest selection of brands and the freshest offerings around. They specialize in your family's grocery needs. Save big and sign up for the Shop and Save Perks card to get money-saving benefits and discounts on gas. Shop and save. Walnut Hill Road, Uniontown, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Working hard to offer you the best at Shop and Save because it's the just right thing to do.
Spring forward to home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project with all the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
General Dentist Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr. treats children, teens, and adults of all ages. Dr. Wietek performs all phases of general dentistry, including crowns and bridges, partials, full dentures, comprehensive orthodontics, root canals, bonded white fillings, dental implants to replace missing teeth and to stabilize loose-fitting dentures, and comprehensive exams and cleanings. Dr. Wietek's office is located on the National Pike, 1 mile west of the mall on Route 40. Call him up at 724-439-1616 for Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr.
Leading off the bottom half of the second inning and taking strike one is number 15, Caleb Janoski. He's the right fielder for the Mustangs. Lessman starts him with a fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike one. There's a swing at the foul ball inside, and that catches the umpire directly in the chest protector. No damage. Foul back for strike two.
Didn't phase him at all.
No. Looks like a veteran back there. I'm sure he is. 0-2 now. I'm sorry, Brian.
I was going to mention just a handful of games on the schedule today. Connellsville hosting Peters Township. Fraser also at home against Bentworth. Carmichael's at California. Games in the region.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Janoski able to foul that back. Keep himself alive at the plate. On deck is Tristan Mccoy, to be followed by Braden McKnight.
Had a pair of 7-3 games in the conference yesterday. West Mifflin took care of Bell Vernon 7-3.
There's a drive down the left field line, and that's deep. It's going to make it to the fence, and heading to second base with a stand-up double on a rope down the left field line is Caleb Janoski to start things off for the Mustangs with a double, similar to the Ringgold Rams in the top half of the inning.
And the Mustangs managed to keep the Rams scoreless in that top of the second. We'll see if Laurel Highlands can turn the table here in the bottom half of the inning and get a run across.
Might see Coach Yeoman going to some small ball here with Tristan McCoy. Could lay a bunt down the first base line. That would be, or even the third base line can advance the runner. Now we have a timeout called. Early in the game, you might try to work that base runner situation to push across an early run, but let's see what Coach Yeoman does. No turnaround by Tristan McCoy as he takes ball one outside, and Didn't look like any attempt to bunt there.
No,
Brian.
not at all.
Here's the pitch. Outside again, ball 2.
Maybe guys that are confident at the plate, Gary, might just want to let them swing away if they have a good feel coming up there.
And Tristan certainly a contact hitter. If he puts it on the ground to the right side, it would be the same result. Here's a pitch. Foul tip for a strike.
You mentioned the wind's rather calm, and very seldom could you say that out here in Hopwood.
And as I say that,
they're starting to pick up a little bit.
The breeze picks up.
It's always windy in Hopwood.
The flag is straight out to center field, too, so anything that the Mustangs or the Ringgold Rams could get up in the air might get some assistance. 2 balls and a strike, nobody out. High ball 3, so Tristan Mccoy works the count to a 3-1 opportunity for himself. Batter's pitch with his teammate Janoski out there at second base in scoring position. See Rodney Gallagher coming in to watch his compatriots play. That's outside for ball 4, so McCoy works the walk, and now 2 on with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Braden McKnight. Going to have a courtesy runner for the catcher, McCoy, and that's going to be in the form of number 2, C.J. Gesk. Gesk is a veteran player, so he'll have a lot of experience out there at first base. And McKnight coming up batting from the left side, number 5, the third baseman for the Mustangs.
2 on, nobody out, scoreless game as we work here in the bottom of the second.
Good lead out there at second base for Janoski. McKnight squares around and takes high for ball 1, throw through, and
wow,
great throw there by the catcher, Mamie, from his knees, almost got Janoski leaning the other way.
Saw a couple of those pickoffs last week for the Mustangs when they took on West Mifflin.
1 ball, no strikes as McKnight squared around a bunt on that first opportunity. Let's see what he does this time. He squares again, high again for ball 2. So good eye by Braden McKnight. No use bunting if you can get a walk. 2-0. Unofficially, I have Lessman at about 20 pitches. There's a strike. Taking all the way that time was McKnight.
This half inning or total?
Total. 20 pitches total. Now 21. From the stretch, Lessman to McKnight, squaring around again, and that's high and inside. And on the steal now, the fake bunt steal, and both runners move up. Good hustle there by Janoski.
It's close over third.
Yeah, Mamie with a great arm. Ball was kind of inside, kind of tied up the catcher, including his ability to release that ball to third base. So the Mustangs now with 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out, and McKnight at the plate with a 3-1 count. There's a looper in the right field, and that's going to score at least 1 run. They're going to hold up the runner at third. Now they're going to send him as the right fielder out there. Seuss juggled it a little bit, and that's going to allow the pinch runner, C.J. Gesk, to come around and score the 2nd run. So give 2 RBIs to Braden McKnight on that single to right.
Yeah, 2 coming across, timely hitting. Still nobody out here, Gary, in this bottom of the 2nd inning. Mustangs now lead it 2-0. 2 runs on 4 hits now for Laurel Highlands.
That'll bring up Frank Kula, the second baseman, wearing number 3 for the Mustangs. And as you said, nobody out. So you might see the Mustangs again try to move runners up. There we go. And Frank taking a strike as he squared to bunt.
Nice to build a little cushion at this juncture of the game. Give yourself a little breathing room for the later innings.
Absolutely, and I really do agree with that. But charging in at third is going to be Barrett. Holding on at first is Ray for the Ringgold Rams. Kula now does not square around this time and takes ball 1 inside, so 1-1.
Breeze picking up a little bit here.
It sure is. Still blowing straight out to center field, and now squaring again, and there's a bunt down the first base line. Beautiful bunt there by Kula, and he beats it out. I think he had that beat regardless, that the throw was a little low to first base, and we're going to give Kula a base hit on that. And traveling around to third base was Braden McKnight. Good base running by him.
Yeah, bang play over at first, but you said Frankie beat it out, and then McKnight being aggressive down there, getting down to third. Smart base running, and the Mustangs already 2 across. Now runners on the corner, still nobody out as we work here in the bottom of the second inning.
And that's going to bring up Sankovic. He grounded to short his first time up, and Ringgold does not bring the infield in, playing at double play depth.
And now at the top of the order up, Mustangs trying to make a little more hay.
And that's ball 1 high to Sankovic. Getting his signals. I got to believe he's hitting away in this situation. You might see Kula take off, though. Although good arm behind the plate we saw from Mamie. Stepping back now was Lessman.
Turney always on call over there.
Yeah. Kula on at first with a nice lead from the stretch. Lessman, another rip to right field, and that's going to be a base hit as Sankovic just ropes one, and Kula will try for third. Here's the throw into third, and he's in safely. I believe he is. And another RBI single there by Sankovic. No doubt about that one. Ringing off the bat. He squared that up nicely and just ripped it into right field. Scoring from third base was McKnight. Kula all the way around to third. And the Mustangs are still in business, first and third with nobody out. Carson D'Amico, the 6th Mustang to come to the plate.
How long of a leash do you think they have on Lessman at this juncture of the game right now, Gary? 3-0 now here in the bottom of the second inning, still without an out on the board.
Well, I think that they have to play to win these games. Like you said, these games are all very important in section, and now the Mustangs posting that 3 runs here in the bottom of the second. You might see somebody warming up here pretty soon for Ringgold. D'Amico will come to the plate. He hit a high fly ball to the second baseman the first time up. There's a ground ball in the hole. It might be no play. Long throw to first, and beating it out again.
Wow.
Was D'Amico. Nice play there by the shortstop Cantini. Strong arm, but I think, and I'm sure, D'Amico had that beat, and that scores another run for the Mustangs as Kula comes in to score, making it 4-0.
Let's go back, Gary, and recap this half inning so far.
Leading off was the double by Janoski. He came around to score. Tristan McCoy walked to make it a first and second. The Mustangs stole second and third, putting second and third for McKnight. He singled in 2 runs. Kula then singles, and Sankovic comes through with a 2 RBI single. And now D'Amico adds to that with a single, making it 4-0. So the Mustangs with 6 straight runners on, 5 hits and 1 walk.
Still runners on first and second, nobody out. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Mustangs so far here today.
Mclean at the plate looks at strike 1. There's another rope to right field. So the Mustangs putting the bat on the ball, and they're going to send the runner to home, and this could be a close play, but cutting it off there was the first baseman, Ashton Ray, and scoring on the play was Sankovic from second base. So that makes it 5-0 for the Mustangs, and another base hit and an RBI by Mclean.
I think we're going to have a pitching change.
Looks that way as the coaching staff for Ringgold, head coach coming up there, Don Roberts. And we will have a pitching change, and that will allow us to step aside and hear from our sponsors on the C. Harper High School Baseball Afternoon on the Trib Live Sports Network.
With branches in Markleysburg, Connellsville, Hopwood, Uniontown, and Perryopolis, Somerset Trust Company is truly Fayette County's community bank. We invite you to stop by and experience the Somerset Trust Company difference. Local decision-making, convenient locations, extended hours, award-winning online and mobile banking, and more. Somerset Trust Company, community banking worth talking about. Branches and ATMs throughout Fayette County.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Okay, kids, what time is it?
Smoothie time.
I'll get the blender, you guys get the fruit.
Here's the apple and bananas, kale.
Ooh, healthy.
Strawberries and blueberries.
Beautiful. In they go.
Onions. Just kidding.
Haha, very funny.
The finest produce at prices you'll love. That's a combination you'll only find at Martin's.
Save big.
We're back with the new pitcher for Ringgold being Gianna Cantini coming in from short, and he's going to be facing number 22 for the Mustangs, Braden O'Brien, who is the 8th Mustang to come to the plate and still nobody out. First and second for the Mustangs. Try to get the other replacements for Ringgold as we can identify them, but 1-0 pitch now. That's a fastball in for a strike. Cantini looks like he has some good velocity. The shortstop moving into pitch for Ringgold. Looks like number 22. I think that's Andrew Sprinkle out there at shortstop. We'll have to confirm that. 1-1 pitch. Curveball outside. 2-1.
Does appear to be Sprinkle out there, Gary. I think you're right on that.
Not sure if he came in for Lessman or Lessman moved to a different position. We'll have to figure that out. 2-1 pitch. First and second, nobody out. There's a little pop-up down the right side. That's going to be out of play. So 2-2 now to O'Brien. Braden playing first base here this afternoon for the Mustangs. Mustang posting 5 runs here in the bottom half of the second inning with nobody out. Certainly the breakout the Mustangs were looking for from their bats. We talked about that in the pregame, and the Mustangs have certainly squared the bat up here today. Foul back, good patience there by Braden O'Brien as he was able to get a piece of that. So 2-2, nobody out. Runners on first and second. Mustangs trying to add on some more here in the bottom of the second, leading 5-0. From the stretch comes Cantini. Swing and a miss. Probably outside, but O'Brien went for it, swinging and missing for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Ben Diamond, the 9th Mustang, to the plate here in the bottom of the second. Getting some signals there from Coach Yeoman down at third base. Sankovic coaching over at first. Cantini on in relief for Lessman here in the bottom of the second. Breaking pitch comes in high for ball 1.
Diamond at the plate, Gary, he's already the 9th Mustang to bat, so they pretty much batted around here in this bottom of the second inning.
With just 1 out.
Yep, 5 runs already across.
Trying to hold on the runner out there at second. That's D'Amico. Ground ball to short, and that's going to get through the victim of trying to hold the runner on at second base. And that's going to score number 17, D'Amico, for the 6th run. And we'll give an RBI single there to Ben Diamond.
He had Sprinkle working towards the bag. Well, the ball from Diamond was going the other way, and he could not get back on. That would have been a routine ground ball in a situation where you weren't trying, as you said, Gary, to hold on the runner there. And the Mustangs get another one across. It's 6 scored here in the bottom of the second inning.
That'll bring up Janoski. He started things off here in this inning with the big double down the left field line, and It's been a barrage since for the Mustangs. Swing and a miss that time. Big cut by Janoski, trying to take that one out of here.
Have to thank our live video stream sponsors today, Potter's Bar and Grill and Ted Sova and Son Body and Fender Repair.
Still just one out. Runners now on first and second. Mclean and O'Brien. Foul back, so 0-2. Janoski working against Cantini.
Rams certainly in a tough spot right now, already down 6-0.
McCoy on deck, looking for his second opportunity in the inning.
We did see, though, on Saturday, Uniontown was behind 6-0 in their game against Bell Vernon, ended up with a walk-off win in 8 innings. So
you don't
it
know
could happen,
in high school baseball, that's for sure. Mustangs will be looking now to get some quality innings from Kravoski with a 6-0 lead.
It's been a long half inning.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So 2 strikeouts back-to-back recorded. No, not back-to-back. I'm sorry. O'Brien struck out. Diamond with the single. And now Janoski with the second strikeout of the inning.
And McCoy's the 11th Mustang to bat here in this half inning.
Still runners out there at first and second. Cantini trying to stem the tide here for Ringgold. 9 outside for ball 1. Pretty good velocity, as I said, for Cantini. He's showed a good arm at shortstop, so got to believe that translates to velocity from the pitching mound. Here's the 0-1. I'm sorry, the 1-0. Foul back right at us, and Brian flinching again.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of the way. Nice to have the mayor with us, Tony Hanul. He's the mayor of Hopwood. He's running our camera now.
Taking one of your jobs.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do now.
You're
one
gonna
less
be
thing
bored.
to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get an inning or two of play-by-play in before all is said and done, I guess.
The 11th batter to the plate for the Mustangs. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Good fastball on the outside part of the plate.
And again, because of the late notice we got, they were even going to play today. This game, an exclusive Facebook Live and Trib Live High School Sports Network game, at least for the first portion of the game. Our WMBS audience will join us around 5 o'clock today.
Just about 17 minutes from now.
Get to welcome in a new audience.
Swinging in a foul tip, but caught there by Mamie for the 3rd strikeout of the inning. And that will conclude the inning, but the Mustangs do strike for 6 runs on 7 hits and take the lead into the top of the 3rd, 6-0. Mustangs on top. C. Harper Sports Afternoon on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Casey's now offers a sit-down banquet hall at 65 Lebanon Avenue in Uniontown and can seat up to 50 people with kitchen facilities available. Bring your own food or let Casey's fine staff cater it for you. A perfect intimate setting for your small affair, such as showers, reunions, or after funeral dinners. For all information, phone 724-550-4126. That's 724-550-4126. 724-550-4126 for Casey's Sports Cafe.
When transferring your prescriptions, Peachin Pharmacy makes it quick and easy. Just bring your current prescription bottle into the pharmacy at Peachin Market in Connellsville or give us a call and we'll do the rest. It's that easy. You can also go online at peachinpharmacy.com. Plus, your caring Peachin Pharmacy pharmacist is always on hand to answer your healthcare questions or concerns. It's just like that. Quick and easy at Peachin Pharmacy.
Peachin Pharmacy.
I must have missed
your
something.
local pharmacy.
Back here at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, moving to the top half of the 3rd inning.
Looks like Sprinkle's going to be batting for Seuss, so they must have removed Seuss from the game in right field.
Okay, so we'll add Sprinkle into our lineup. Sprinkle came on to play shortstop after the pitching change that the Rams made back in the bottom of the second inning. And Sprinkle takes the first pitch for ball one. So Sprinkle now in the 9th position in the batting order for the Ringgold Rams, who trailed 6-0. Next pitch from Kravoski, and Sprinkle hits it high in the air to right. Moving over from center field, Ben Diamond will make the catch for the first down of the inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order, and Lorenzo Glasser. Glasser flew out to center field to start the game.
Nice play out there by Ben Diamond, ranging to his left, and with the one-hand grab in right center field for the first out.
Certainly, I would think this relaxes Kravoski a bit as well on the mound for the Mustangs.
Be more aggressive, that's for sure.
First pitch a little low and outside there to Glasser, 1-0. And the Mustangs getting all 6 of their runs in that bottom of the second inning.
And I mentioned while you were doing your other jobs that it's a good sign there as the Mustangs' bats came to life. And they were really nothing, it was really nothing cheap. They were all solid, squared up hits.
Next pitch. That ball, line drive over the outstretched glove of Braden McKnight in a left field. Charging there, Carson D'Amico, and staying at first will be Lorenzo Glasser. So a one-out single to left for Glasser, and Ringgold in business here in the top half of the third inning. And that'll bring up Joe Pusateri. Pusateri struck out swinging first time up back in the first inning.
Second hit of the game for Ringgold, and that was a solid hit down the left field line. Good play, though, there out in left field by D'Amico to keep that as a single.
Now Kravoski from the stretch as a lefty, straight look over at first, and the first pitch a little outside for ball one. The only other hit, Gianni Cantini doubled to left field back in the second inning. That got things started, but the Mustangs were able to keep him from making his way around. Now squaring over to bunt as Pusateri, throw over to first, and back in time there, Lorenzo Glasser.
Good idea there by Kravoski. You see the batter squaring around, and you might catch that runner leaning.
And Kravoski looks very heady on the mound for the Mustangs. Again, only a sophomore out there. Next pitch in there for a strike. Evens up the count at 1-1. Good for the future for Laurel Highlands as well.
Always like to see those young arms being effective.
Mustangs used Chambers and O'Brien on Monday. That one fouled off by Pusateri. Count now 1-2. And 6 runs on 9 hits for the Mustangs. 2 hits so far for the Ringgold Rams. Mustangs back in action Friday on the road, taking on Trinity at Washington and Jefferson. That's where the Hillers play most of their home games. We'll have it for you here on WMBS. We'll be back on the traditional radio side as well. Runner going, pitch fouled off. Count remains 1-2.
Not a pitch that Pusateri could take. That ball was on the outside corner of the plate, so he had to protect. So runner going had to be a hit and run.
And next week we'll have the Elizabeth Ford Uniontown series for you. Monday at EF, 4 o'clock start. Tuesday at Bailey Park. Long-range forecast looks good for next week. That's a positive sign.
You just eye-jazzed.
Oh, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did. But they are expecting to see some rain over the next couple of days, even into early Sunday with cooler temperatures. 1-2 pitch again from Kravoski. On the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Pusateri going down, swinging for the second time in this game. Third strikeout for Kravoski, and now 2 away here in the top half of the third inning. With Chad Barrett coming to the plate. Barrett grounded out 6-3 to end the first.
The Mustangs will play him straight away. Now Diamond moving a little bit toward the left field side out there in center field, but the infield playing their normal positions.
Good breaking ball there from Kravoski. In for another strike. We've seen some great movement off of Devon's pitches so far in this game.
That one just tied up Barrett. He really didn't know whether to swing or not at that one.
Now the 0-1 pitch. Runner going here from Glasser. Pitch in there for a strike. Throw down to second, and unable to hang on to it there was Ty Sankovic. Wouldn't have had him anyways.
Big jump there by Glasser.
A stolen base for Lorenzo. He's in scoring position, but the count 0-2 now to Chad Barrett. Once again, Kravoski from the stretch. A two-step lead off second. Now for Glasser. And time called by Behrens.
Don't like to stand in that box that long.
No, that's for sure.
A lot of talk in the major league level of coming up with a pitch count. And there's a roller to the right side, and Kula with a nice play. Sorry to
you're all right.
steal your thunder there, Brian.
Nonetheless, retired 4-3 is Barron to end the inning, and it's still 6-0 Laurel Highlands over Ringgold, moving to the bottom of the third here on the C. Harper Group High School Sports Day.
Good times and good food. It's all at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown, family owned and operated. Potter's has been a staple in the Uniontown community since 1950. So get out of the house and make your next night out at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Call them up at 724-438-9835. That's 724-438-9835. Or visit Potter's on Facebook. We'll see you at Potter's.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy East.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $299 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 27 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends April 4th, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Back now for the bottom of the third inning. Mustangs up 6-0 over the Ringgold Rams. Brian Morozak along with Gary Frankhauser. Tony Hanola behind the camera. Mustangs with Braden McKnight, Frank Kula, and Ty Sankovic due up. Giovanni Cantini on the mound for the Ringgold Rams. And the first pitch sent foul there by Braden McKnight. McKnight a 2 RBI single, scored a run back in the second inning. Cantini on in relief of Remington Lessman, who's now playing first base for the Rams.
And Aston Ray moved out to right field.
Next pitch, just missed outside, even up the count at 1-1. So now you have Ray in right, Sprinkle playing short, Lessman playing first, and Gianni Cantini on the mound for the Ringgold Rams. 1-1 pitch now to Braden McKnight. A little outside, count moves to 2-1. Sun back out, right in our face right now.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
Be tough for the batters, too, because they're seeing what we're seeing.
And the wind has completely died.
2-1 pitch, low and inside. Count now 3-1. Mustangs sent 11 men to the plate, scoring 6 runs in that bottom of the second inning. Now the 3-1 from Cantini to McKnight. Now McKnight frozen, so he'll call time. That's a long stare down there from Gianni.
Sure was. And we've seen Braden for a couple of years now, and he is a very good contact hitter from his freshman year all the way up now.
And the 3-1 breaking ball sent foul on the left side. Look out there into the parking lot. I'll send us full now, 3-2.
Is your car over there, Brian?
I'm way down. I think I'm parked behind the Ringgold buses, so I should be safe, I would hope. Here we go, 3-2 to Braden McKnight as Cantini winds and fires, and the pitch catches the inside corner for strike 3. So right on the edge of the zone, and you go back to the bottom of the second inning. Cantini sent down Janoski and McCoy to end the inning. Now starts off the bottom of the third, striking out McKnight.
Also struck out O'Brien. He had 3 strikeouts in that second inning to stop the bleeding for the Ringgold Rams, and now gets McKnight. So 4 strikeouts already for Cantini.
Now Frank Kula at the plate. He's retired 4 of his last 5, and you look at the hit the Diamond had in the bottom of the second inning. That was technically a routine ground ball. You just had Sprinkle leaning the other way. Or I think you would have had Diamond retired in that situation as well.
You're right about that.
Sun now back behind the clouds. 1-0 count to Frank Kula. who singled and scored a run back in the second inning. Cantini winds and fires again. Pitch just a little inside, takes us to 2-0. How quickly the weather changes here in Hopwood.
Feel like I'm in Ireland.
Yes. You played golf over there a few years ago.
And you can see the weather coming over there.
2-0 now. Cantini to Kula, and this ball popped up here on the left side again.
That's toward my car. Truck. Don't want to see that happen.
2-1.
Looks like Buttercup's in the crowd over there.
Nice. Good buddy Buttercup. You said Rodney Gallagher here earlier as well.
Like Brandon Davis. All the Mustang basketball players.
2-1 pitch on the way. This is a little low. Saw Jocelyn Radcliffe over there as well. Played on the Laurel Highlands soccer team this fall. Of course, her brother Harry, member of both the boys soccer team and football team for the Mustangs. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch low and inside for ball 4. So Frank Kula aboard for the second time in this game. And the Mustangs a base runner with 1 out. As we work here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Laurel Highlands up 6-0.
That's going to bring up Ty Sankovic. Grounded the short his first time up in the first and hit a ringing single to right his last time up.
Sankovic here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, already up for the 3rd time in this game.
Good speed on it first and leaning a little bit, but throwing the dirt from Cantini over to Lessman.
We'll see how Cantini responds now to the top of the Mustangs batting order. Sankovic back in the box, now showing bunt, pitch on the way, low and outside. Count at 1-0.
Barron right on top of him, charging in from 3rd. Probably want to bunt this one down the first baseline, I would think.
All right, 9 hits in this game for the Mustangs. Cantini again from the stretch. Now will throw over to first.
Wow.
And I thought they had Kula dead to right. Somehow he got back to the bag before the tag.
Kind of reached out to the outside of the bag and avoided the tag. Throw was well in time.
Cantini ready again. Sankovic showing bunt, pulls back, pitch in there for a strike, evens up the count at 1-1.
Looked like a good pitch to bunt.
Temperatures cooled off a couple of degrees as well with that sun going behind the clouds again. Wind continuing to blow out.
You might have to turn the lights on here.
Another throw over to first, head first, slide back safely, and then from Cool.
At Schiffbauer Field.
I don't know if they have the staff in place to turn on the lights right now.
Can make a call.
Yes. Showing bunt. Sankovic lays it down. Great bunt down the first base line. It will stay fair. Tough throw over to first. Off the glove of Lessman. That'll allow Cool to get down to 3rd safely. And the Mustangs now with runners on the corners and 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
How you going to score that one, Brian? I think he would have had him if it was a good throw, so we've got to give an error on the Cantini, I think.
E1. Now Carson D'Amico at the plate. Carson 1 for 2 today. Popped up to Lorenzo Glasser, the second baseman, back in the 1st inning. 2 RBI single and scored a run in the 2nd inning. Mustangs scoring all 6 of their runs in that bottom of the 2nd inning. Looking for more here in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 on and 1 out. And now Cantini, a look over his shoulder over to first. Delivers the first pitch to D'Amico right down the pipe for a strike, 0-1.
D'Amico with a couple RBIs his last time up.
D'Amico looks down to head coach Brad Yeoman down at 3rd. Now the 0-1 pitch on the way. Misses outside. Even up the count at 1-1. Stay tuned after the game for our post-game show brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman. Count even at 1-1. Long looking now from Cantini.
Should be joined momentarily by WMBS.
Yes, haven't got the notification as of yet. We'll do a little recap for that audience. 1-1 pitch on the way, and D'Amico fouls it off.
Mclean on deck. He's 2 for 2.
Mustangs sent 11 men to the plate in that second inning. Now D'Amico stepping back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the third. Mustangs up 6-0 over the Ringgold Rams. 1-2 pitch, runner going. Pitch was high, throw down to second. Goes off the glove there of Andrew Sprinkle. Runners, though, or the only runner down at third would be Cooler. Remains in the third base bag. Safe at second, Sankovic. Now runners on second and third for the Mustangs. And a 2-2 count here to D'Amico.
Clear play on there for the Ringgold Rams. They were not trying to throw out Sankovic, just had Sprinkle cutting in front of the base to ensure that Kula did not score, and now they have to bring the infield in.
Now the 2-2 to D'Amico. Well hit down the left side into left field. Kula's going to score. Rounding third on his way to the plate, Ty Sankovic. And just like that, the Mustangs now lead Ringgold 8-0.
Another RBI for D'Amico, giving him
two
RBIs.
So he's
You're
four
right.
for the game.
4 for the game, and that's 2 for 3 at the plate.
Now Sankovic scores, Kula scores. So you follow up that 6-run bottom of the second inning with 2 already here in the bottom of the third, and we're not done yet. And now at the plate, Alex Mclean. It's 1 out. First pitch to Mclean. Good cut. Might have got a tiny little piece of it, nonetheless. Counted 0-1.
10 hits for the Mustangs.
As you said, very nice to see that they've gotten the bats going. Head first slide back into first safely from D'Amico. Now again out of the stretch. Cantini, pitch on the way, popped up high in the air.
The
into
wind's
center
got
field.
that one.
Terry backing up to the fence, and he was unable to catch it. The ball drops right along the warning track. So the runners advance on the play, and you got D'Amico now down at third, and McLean into second.
That's a double, and you saw that one get up into the jet stream, and the wind going straight out to center field just took that a long way. I thought it had a chance to get out of here for a second, but Pusateri unable to come up with it, and now it's second and third with just 1 out.
We do welcome in the WMBS audience as well, and it's been a nice performance for Laurel Highlands so far today, Gary. 6 runs in that bottom of the second inning, sending 11 men to the plate, and already 2 across here in the bottom of the third, and they're not done yet. Up 8-0, looking for more. Runners on second and third, just 1 out. Remington Westman got the start on the mound for Ringgold. He was pulled in that second inning. Gianni Cantini on in relief. Actually looks solid, retired for the first 5 batters that he faced. Now the Mustangs with a hot little surge here with 4 straight batters reaching safely. Looking for more now with Braden O'Brien at the plate.
He's 1 for 2 with a single back in the first. The Mustangs did have 2 singles in the first inning and stranded 2 runners, but that was not the case in the second.
Count 1-0. Cantini to O'Brien. Pitch on the way, and O'Brien gulps that one into left, but on a line. Caught there by Zane Mahoney. And we'll throw back to second, and everybody back safely there. And it looked like for a moment that one might drop out there and left, but Mahoney charging and getting the out on O'Brien for the second out of the inning.
Well hit ball, but right at the left fielder, Mahoney. And I'm not sure why D'Amico didn't tag on that play. Could have tagged, and once he saw the throw into second, easily scored, but no use taking a risk. We're up 8-0.
8 runs on 11 hits so far for the Mustangs. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors committed by the Ringgold Rams. Brian Morozak along with Gary Frankhauser. Tony Hanula behind the camera on our Facebook Live video feed. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. Nice to have you along with us for high school baseball action. Mustangs and the Ringgold Rams. Laurel Highlands defeated Ringgold 3-0 on Monday. The game was called off yesterday due to poor field conditions. Moved here to Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, and that one fouled off by Ben Diamond. Mustangs looking to even up their conference record at 2-2. Ringgold entered play today 1-2 overall and 0-1 in the conference. And the Mustangs, after getting swept in a doubleheader last Wednesday against West Mifflin, trying to pull their conference record to an even 2-2 before about 10 days off in conference play before returning to conference action after Easter against Bell Vernon. Next pitch on the way, popped up there from Diamond. charging in from right field. Now getting under and repositioning for the catch is Ashton Ray for the third out of the inning. But the Mustangs add a few more on, 2 more runs tacked on. And after 3, it's Laurel Highlands 8 and Ringgold nothing here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day.
Uniontown Detailing offers an all-inclusive auto care experience. Services include full auto detailing, professional ceramic coatings, window tinting, undercoating, paintless dent repair, and more. Uniontown Detailing has moved to a new location on 255 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Stop by and check them out today. Best of luck this season to all local teams from Uniontown Detailing. With branches in Markleysburg, Connellsville, Hopwood, Uniontown, and Perryopolis, Somerset Trust Company is truly Fayette County's community bank. We invite you to stop by and experience the Somerset Trust Company difference. Local decision-making, convenient locations, extended hours, award-winning online and mobile banking, and more. Somerset Trust Company, community banking worth talking about. Branches and ATMs throughout Fayette County.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here we go with the top half of the 4th inning. The Mustangs adding on in the 3rd to make it an 8-0 game, and leading off will be Cantini. Choking up a little bit on that bat from the right side, and Kravoski breaking pitch outside. So the Mustangs looking to keep these zeros on the board for Ringgold. And Kravoski trying to get some quality innings. There's a fastball in there for a swinging strike.
Yeah, for you folks on the radio side just joining us, just 2 hits for Ringgold so far today. Gianni Cantini led off the 2nd inning with a double to left field, and Lorenzo Glasser had a single to left field and stole a base in the 3rd inning. That's been it for the Rams.
There's another pop, and that's going to be on the top of the concession stand behind us. Makes it over the high backstop here at Hutchinson Field, and I think that's the only thing we're missing here today at Hutchinson Field is the fantastic snack bar.
Yes, they weren't ready for it either.
Could have used a coffee and a hot dog. Foul tip back now. So the count remains 1-2 to Gianni Cantini as Kravoski working here in the top of the 4th with an 8-0 lead for the Mustangs.
A couple folks were telling me, Gary, they actually used to have a press box on top of where we're located at.
They did.
Guess a fire took that out?
I think a tornado took
it out. A tornado, okay, wow.
Or a Hopwood wind, maybe not a tornado, but Tony can
what year did that happen?
Experience that. Oh, that's been way back. That's probably been 15 years ago.
Yeah, I don't recall it off the top of my head as far as my years in town.
That's when my father was still supervisor.
I had a lot of mess to clean up after that.
1-2 pitch again from Kravoski, and there's a ground ball to 3rd. Coming up with a deep and a strong throw and getting over there at first base. Beautiful play by Braden McKnight behind 3rd base, and he showed a strong arm whipping that over to number 22 at first base, Braden O'Brien. So McKnight to O'Brien with an outstanding defensive play to start the top of the 4th.
So far the Mustangs, I think, getting everything they wanted out of this game here today, Gary. Comfortable lead. They got the bats going again, and the defense has been solid as well.
And there's a high fly ball over to the right side. Looks like it's going to be out of play unless the wind blows it back in.
Almost did.
Almost did. Wow. Chance over there for O'Brien leaning over the fence, but unable to make the catch, but it will be a strike.
You mentioned plenty of room in foul territory as well out here in Hopwood at Hutchinson Field.
Hunter Mamie at the plate for Ringgold. Now facing a 0-1 count. From the windup, that's on the inside corner. That kind of tailed in on the inside corner for strike 2. So Little backup pitch there by Kravoski. 0-2, rocks and deals. Foul back.
I have to brighten up the camera a little bit. It's getting dark.
It's like the end of the golf tournaments on Sunday night.
Well, Tony added a little more light to his lens to brighten things up for the
0-2
folks.
pitch again. There's a high fly ball to right field. That's deep. Going back and unable to make the catch as it caroms off the bottom of the fence out there in right field. Right fielder Caleb Janoski could not go get that one, so a long double by Hunter Mamie puts him on at second base with one out here in the top of the fourth.
That was very similar to the Mclean hit that we saw in the bottom of the third inning.
Wynn just playing havoc with that, and Janoski really having no chance at that one, playing a little bit shallow out there in right, and that hit right at the bottom of the fence. 325 down the line. That had to be about a 340 shot by Mamie. First pitch to Lessman is in the dirt for ball one. As you said, Lessman started things off on the mound for Ringgold and has moved over to first base.
He walked his first time up back in the second inning.
Another foul ball.
A lot of action back there.
Off the screen.
Good crowd out here at Hutchinson as well. It always seems like the folks come out to watch local baseball, whether it's high school action or Legion action throughout the summer.
Why not? Here's a pitch in the dirt. That gets by Mclean. That's in the netting back here, so that's going to be an automatic base for the runner Mamie as he gets into third now with one out, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Lessman.
You have to feel this juncture of the game down 8-0 as the Rams are. You really have to make some hay here in the top of the fourth inning. You want to have a realistic chance at making a run back on the Mustangs. They have a runner now down at third with one out here in the inning.
Up to Lessman to see if they can bring him in. There's a strike on a breaking pitch that tied up Lessman on the inside part of the plate.
We've seen great movement off of the pitches from Kravoski throughout the course of the afternoon.
One out in the inning. Mustangs looking to work outs at this point. There's a high chopper down to first base. They got to get the out. And that's what they do as O'Brien takes it unassisted over at first base, but scoring on the play for the first run of the game for Ringgold was Mamie. So an unassisted put out, but an RBI for Lessman.
Now bring up Ashton Ray, who struck out swinging his first time up. Now 8-1 in favor of Laurel Highlands.
With the bases now clear, Kravoski can go back to the windup, but he decides to stay in the stretch. Swing and a miss at a low fastball there as Ashton Ray kind of chased one to grant a strike.
I'm surprised he wouldn't go back and just kind of wind and fire with the bases empty. But must be comfortable in the stretch position right now.
Here's the 0-1. That's a strike on the outside corner, tailing fastball. Kravoski still looking strong here in the top half of the fourth inning. I kind of lost track of the pitches, but
we've been doing multiple jobs here today, among running the camera for a little while and running all of the commercials from the game broadcast. We started this game as a Facebook exclusive broadcast, digital exclusive broadcast, along with Facebook Live and on the Triple Live High School Sports Network. We welcomed in the WMBS audience around 5 o'clock today.
I would guess that he's still well within the limit of pitches. There's a swing and a miss to end the inning for strike three. So the Ringgold Rams do put one across with one hit. And no errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Mustangs 8, Ringgold 1 here on the C. Harper Sports Afternoon, Triple Live High School Sports Network, WMBS.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevrolet.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $299 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 27 months at 10,000 miles per year with $4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends April 4th, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-929-8000.
Fayette County Recorder of Deeds John Marietta would like to wish the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local high school baseball teams the best of luck this season and invite you to listen to his show every Tuesday at 3:15 here on WMBS.
Bottom half of the fourth inning, leading off for the Mustangs will be Caleb Janoski. He started things back in the second inning with a double, came around to score, and actually batted twice in that inning as he looks at ball one on the outside part of the plate.
Mustangs already getting close to finishing up their third time through the order as we work here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Cantini on in relief in the second inning. There's a little looper in the center field, but Wind holding that up, and Pusateri able to come on to make the one-hand grab. And Janoski is the first out of the inning.
It's Janoski, McCoy, and McKnight here in the home half of the fourth. Mustangs back in action Friday against Trinity at Washington and Jefferson. We'll have the game for you here on WMBS. 6 p.m. first pitch.
It's always a nice place to do games.
We decided this week to make the trip out.
First pitch to McCoy is low and outside for ball one.
Tony Hanola behind the camera for us. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios.
Man of a lot of talents, Tony Hanola.
Yes.
Ball two, that one in the dirt also. We should have got like a crane for him to get up in, though, so he could like the high look behind home plate or out in center field.
Could the crane support him?
Well, yeah, probably. 2-0 pitch. That's on the outside corner for strike one. Looking all the way that time was Tristan McCoy.
We initially wanted to put Tony up in the booth over the Mustang dugout, but the township told us that wasn't allowed either.
Yeah. 2-1 pitch and a drive into right center field. The Wind's got that one too, and that's going way back, and that's going to hit off the bottom of the fence.
Almost plugged out there in right field.
A high fly ball that the Wind just took all the way to the fence, and a stand-up double for Tristan McCoy.
Of course, we joke with Tony because we like him.
Absolutely. He's a legend.
Now Braden McKnight coming to the plate. I have a courtesy runner here, C.J. Gesk, on to run again for the Mustangs, on for the catcher McCoy. With one out here in the bottom of the fourth, Mustangs up 8-1 now. 8 runs on 12 hits for Laurel Highlands, 1 run on 3 hits and 2 errors for the Ringgold Rams.
So McKnight will come to the plate with McCoy in scoring position and 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. To readjust the scorebook to add those extra lines. Ball's in the dirt as squaring around there was McKnight.
At this point of the conference season, Gary, really tough to pick a favorite right now. You have West Mifflin and Uniontown both at 3-1. The Red Raiders certainly the surprise team early on here in the season. Bell Vernon's always strong, but they're at 1-3. Mustangs with a win can improve to 2-0. And you also have Elizabeth Forward sitting at 2-0 after a sweep last week of Greensburg-Salem. We'll see the Warriors and the Red Raiders for a conference series next week here on WMBS.
You might have a situation by the end of next week where 5 teams tied at first.
You could. You never know how things are going to shake out. Of course, the Mustangs will not play a conference game at all next week. Their only game on the schedule Thursday, home game against Connellsville, non-conference game.
So McKnight standing in, left-handed. 2-0 count. Cantini now, there's the bunt down the third base line. Beautiful bunt. They're not going to get him at first either. no chance with the speedy McKnight down the line, and that ball just died in the grass here at the infield at Hutchinson.
That's the only disadvantage, I would think, Gary, when you have 7 teams in a conference and you're playing those back-to-back series every week. Every week you're going to have one team in the conference without a game.
You're right. They pick up those non-conference games, which are important for seeding purposes.
Oh, correct. But a lot of times they're even tough to find early in the week because everybody else is playing conference games.
You're right.
So if you want to try to play a Monday and a Tuesday game, and the Mustangs kind of found out that situation next week as well, you can't get anybody to play because everybody's playing conference games.
So another hit, and there's a drive to deep right center field, way back, going, and it is out of here. Home run for Frank Kula as he ships one to right center field, a 3-run jack for Frank Kula.
Makes it 11-1 Mustangs. Laurel Highlands might have an opportunity to close this one off early as they celebrate the dinger over the right field wall.
Just ripping that ball to right center field. And I'm not even going to say that one was wind aided because the flag is limp out there in center field, and he just jerked that ball right over the right center field fence. That's got to be approximately 350-foot shot.
Now 11 runs on 14 hits for the Mustangs.
And just one out in the inning.
And you could have Ringgold. Actually, you will have Ringgold down to their final 3 outs in the top of the 5th, looking to extend this game. You, of course, have the 15-run rule after 3 and the 10-run rule after 5.
So Sankovic takes strike 1. That really brought a roar from the crowd.
Yes, it did.
Frank Kula with the shot over the right center field fence, and umpire's asking for some extra balls. I think he's not happy with the supply so far. He's going to walk down the third base line and get some new equipment.
Now, if you continue to get this type of production at the plate down here at Hutchinson, I have to move more home games down here.
That's right. And it really depends on the ability for the field to really dry up at the high school. It's nice to have the games on campus, but
I think a better atmosphere down here.
But
I've been pushing for years for them to play all the games down here at Hutchinson.
You're not on the school board.
No.
Outside for 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Again, I think the ideal situation, I mentioned it when we were on Facebook earlier, is to have Uniontown, Laurel Highlands, and South Union Township all get together. You turf the complex down here. Everybody can play their games here. You have the lights. You can play Laurel Highlands at 4, Uniontown at 7, work out the schedule however you'd like. You have a perfect facility. Everybody comes out, and you have a bunch of doubleheader games. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I'm just, if the right people hear the message, Gary, and can all work together, everybody splits up the cost.
Might even be able to do that on the midget league field for the girls softball.
Yep.
Just low and inside. So full count now to Ty Sankovic with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th. The Mustangs with 3 across in the inning. Stretch the lead now to 11-1, and trying to gather himself behind the mound. Out there is Gianni Cantini working from the windup. Here's a pitch. Foul ball, so Sankovic stays alive.
Hey, the 4th time through the order now for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Sankovic grounded out 6-3 back in the 1st, singled, scored a run in the 2nd, and then reached down in air and scored a run in the 3rd.
3-2 pitch again. And there's a ground ball off the foot of Sankovic, I believe. Foul to the right side.
Didn't phase him much. Yep.
Nope.
He likes to choke up on that bat, too.
It's a great contact hitter, leadoff man for the Mustangs. Has, again, been active in the lineup for a very long time here for the Mustangs, and he's just a junior. Fastball again, and a high fly ball. That's going to be playable in the infield. Third baseman Barron coming over to make that catch for the 2nd out. So high fly ball to the third baseman for the 2nd out of the inning is going to bring up Carson D'Amico. 2 for 3 and 4 RBIs for Carson D'Amico here this afternoon.
Try to keep it going. And you have Gianni Cantini on in relief of Remington Lessman, who got the start for the Rams this afternoon.
First pitch to D'Amico is high for ball one. Beautiful scoreboard out here, too. I think they're going to convert that to a jumbotron here. They'll be showing our replays
yes,
out
that
there.
would be nice. They can make it happen. Get a couple more sponsorships up there on the board.
Just a little bit out high on that one for a 2-0 count.
I don't think they've updated the sponsors on the board. You guys have gotten your money from that Davis and Davis sign up there.
Don't worry. They come ask us. Here's the pitch outside 3-0. No problem sponsoring these kind of facilities and the youth baseball, youth sports throughout the entire area. There's a fastball for ball four, just a little bit low. Cantini's wondering where that one was at.
They haven't been updated, though, in a while, Gary, because I can tell you there's some folks that are no longer with us that are still up on the board.
Yeah, you're
I'll
right
leave
about
it at
that. You're right.
I'll bring up Alex Mclean.
Alex is 3 for 3, a double and 2 singles and an RBI. And he will hit the pop up to the right side, and that's going to be dropped for a foul ball. Unable to make the catch out there was Aston Ray, as he had to come a long way from his position in right field to the foul side of the first base line. And
almost tracked it down.
Yeah, he did. But life for D'Amico. I'm sorry, Mclean.
You mentioned Mclean. Well, the afternoon that he's had, 3 for 3 today, trying to make it 4 for 4, including that double last time up.
D'Amico Cantini from the stretch. Looks at high one there for Mclean. Ball 1-1. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Mustangs with 3 runs here in the inning. 6 in the second, 2 in the third for their total of 11. And there's a high fly ball to deep center field, way back, and making the catch on the warning track was Joe Pusateri, and giving that one a long ride was Alex Mclean, but it's a long out, and that ends the inning with the Mustangs plating 3, now leading 11-1 as we go to the top of the 5th here on the C. Harper High School Sports Afternoon, Trib Live High School Sports Network on WMBS.
Does your car sound like it's saying, "Trade me in, trade me in," every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchased your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in, trade me in." Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases, but most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis.
We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case.
If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
We're back for the top of the 5th, and the Ringgold Rams down to their last 3 outs, possibly.
11-1. Rams need at least a run to extend this game.
Banaszak took strike 1 and swing and a miss at strike 2.
Banaszak, Sprinkle, and Glasser due up for Ringgold hitters 8, 9, and 1.
In Banaszak's only plate appearance, he grounded the third for an unassisted putout with runners on first and second back in the second inning when Ringgold was threatening, and he looks at strike 3 on the outside corner.
Well, you get to this juncture of the game, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel for Devin Kravosky and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs.
Just 3 hits given up by Kravosky, and the Mustangs have not committed an error.
Now it's been solid all around, and you're going to have a situation here for Ringgold. Do we have a pinch hitter?
Yes, we do.
Well, it's actually Seuss batting again. He was originally in that spot.
Re-entry for him.
So that would mean, unless they made another change, Sprinkle won't be able to come back into the game on the Rams side if this game is extended. And you also have Mason with his first at-bat of the game. They're just finishing the second time through the lineup, and Sprinkle batted in that position to lead off the third inning.
He flew out to center, so Seuss getting his first opportunity, fouls back the first pitch for strike 1. Kravosky been very efficient, throwing a lot of strikes. That one's in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 here in the top of the 5th with the Mustangs leading 11-1. 1 out in the inning, trying to end this one early. 1-1 offering. Ground ball to short. Sankovic backhand. Can he throw over to first? Little high and unable to stay on the bag there was O'Brien. So we're going to have to give Seuss a infield single there.
Yeah, well hit ball in a tough spot for the Mustangs to make a play on it defensively. And the Rams a little life here in the top of the 5th, down 11-1.
O'Brien tried to apply the tag as the throw was a little bit to the home plate side and just unable to put the tag there on Seuss. So the Mustangs now face the leadoff hitter, Glasser, with 1 out in the inning.
He's 1 for 2, singled last time up, stole a base, flew out to center to lead off the game back in the top of the 1st.
Throw over to first, but back in safely is Seuss. Here's the first pitch, and there's a fly ball to left field, and going back, and D'Amico tracks that down, played that perfectly, was shaded a little bit to left center, and just had to go back about 10 steps to make that catch out there in left center for the second out.
Just 1 out away from closing it out here for the Mustangs.
And that's going to bring up Pusateri with an opportunity here with 2 outs. Struck out twice. Swing and a miss for the first pitch from Kravosky.
Counted 0-1.
Kravosky working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a 1-1 count. Good pitch, though, there. Trying to get Pusateri to chase a little bit. One offering. Here's the deal. Ground ball to third. That's going to be fair, right? Oh, they called foul. Wow.
That went over the bag.
Came down on the outside of the line, and that is a foul ball.
Extremely close.
So that makes
it might have been a tough play if the ball stayed fair just because of how slow rolling it was down the third base line.
Might have had to play it second. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kravosky looking to try to end things here. Here's a pitch in the dirt. Good block by Mclean. McCoy. I got these names. I'll get them all straight here sooner or later.
Yeah, so early on in the season for all of us.
So that's Tristan McCoy behind the plate making that nice play. Here's a pitch. Strike. Oh, not getting the call inside.
2-2 could have ended it.
Makes it a 3-2 count.
Big pitch here.
Here's the pitch. Foul back, so we'll extend it. 1 more pitch.
Still have life.
Runner on the move with a 3-2 count and 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. 11-1. With the signal from his battery mate McCoy, throw over. Back in safely, though, there is Seuss. on deck for Ringgold is Barrett, hoping he gets a shot. There's a looper over second base. That could fall, but going back and making the catch for the final out there was Frank Kula. So afternoon for Frank Kula, makes a nice play at the end of the inning and has the 3-run homer to help the Mustangs pull out the 11-1 victory over the Ringgold Rams in 5 innings. And we're going to be back to wrap things up here on the C. Harper Sports Afternoon. Trib Live High School Sports on WMBS.
Our post-game show on the way next, brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases, but most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis.
We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case.
If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You've tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Looking for the highest quality products at the lowest prices? Shop and save on Walnut Hill in Uniontown has the widest selection of brands and the freshest offerings around. They specialize in your family's grocery needs. Save big and sign up for the Shop and Save Perks card to get money-saving benefits and discounts on gas. Shop and save. Walnut Hill Road, Uniontown, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Working hard to offer you the best at Shop and Save because it's the just right thing to do.
Spring forward to home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project with all the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
General Dentist Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr. treats children, teens, and adults of all ages. Dr. Wietek performs all phases of general dentistry, including crowns and bridges, partials, full dentures, comprehensive orthodontics, root canals, bonded white fillings, dental implants to replace missing teeth and to stabilize loose-fitting dentures, and comprehensive exams and cleanings. Dr. Wietek's office is located on the National Pike, 1 mile west of the mall on Route 40. Call him up at 724-439-1616 for Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr.
Back here in our post-game show, being brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman. 11-1, the Mustangs defeat the Ringgold Rams. Game called final in the 5th inning due to the 10-run rule, and Gary has your game recap.
Thanks, Brian. For the Ringgold Rams, they were lucky to have 4 hits here this afternoon. They had 1 run on 4 hits. They did commit 1 error and left 4 men on base. Glasser was 1 for 3, and Cantini 1 for 2, Mamie 1 for 2, and Lessman was 0 for 1, but he did have the 1 RBI for the Ringgold Rams. Moving to the Laurel Highlands side of the ledger, Mustangs score 11 runs with 14 hits, did not commit an error. They did leave 7 men on base, but very productive day for the Mustangs offensively. Sankovic 1 for 4, Carson D'Amico 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. Alex Mclean was 3 for 4. He did have an RBI also. Braden O'Brien 1 for 3. Ben Diamond 1 for 3. Janoski 1 for 3. Tristan McCoy 1 for 2. Braden McKnight 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And Frank Kula 2 for 2 with a huge 3-run homer in the 4th inning. So the Mustangs, everyone in the lineup got a hit, Brian. And the Mustang bats came alive here this afternoon, and Kravosky with 5 strong innings, just allowing the 1 run on 4 hits.
Always good to see Mustangs move to 11-1. We're back with a final word here in our post-game show, brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman right after this.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Going on now at Sea Harbor Chevy East.
Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $299 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit SeaHarborChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 27 months and 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends April 4th, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231.
Back here wrapping things up at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, an 11-1 win for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. They improved to 2-2 overall and 2-2 in conference play. Loss drops Ringgold to 1-3 overall. They're 0-2 in the conference. You look right now at the Section 3 4A standings. Elizabeth Ford at the top of the table at 2-0. Both West Mifflin and Uniontown sitting at 3-1. The Mustangs now 2-2. Bell Vernon and Greensburg-Salem sitting at 1-3, and the Ringgold Rams now at 0-2 in the conference. So the Mustangs certainly have got themselves right back in the race, Gary.
They sure have, but the only problem with the way the schedule has been set up with these back-to-back games against the same opponents, you don't get an opportunity to maybe knock off someone that beat you early in the season, later in the season, but that's the way the WPIAL has set things up, and it's certainly going to get a lot of games in when these teams have to play back-to-back and go home and home, but we'll see how things shake out. The Mustangs do play very well here today. Very solid defensively, good pitching, and the bats came alive. So let's see how that leads into the rest of the season with them playing a non-conference game on Friday.
And we'll have that for you against Trinity at Washington and Jefferson, 6 o'clock first pitch. Rams back in action. They'll play a non-conference game Friday as well, hosting Charleroi. Their conference series next week will be against Bell Vernon. Of course, the Mustangs' next conference series also against the Bell Vernon Leopards, but they won't play again until April the 19th and 20th. That'll be under the lights at Bell Vernon on the 19th. Back at home on the 20th. We'll have both of those games for you here on WMBS. Again, we'll have the Laurel Highlands Trinity game for you Friday, and both games in the Uniontown Elizabeth Ford series next Monday and Tuesday. Gary, it was a lot of fun as always. Of course, I have to thank Tony Hinola behind the camera, Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios.
Absolutely, and this is a great time of the year for high school baseball. The Major League Baseball is about to start, and we have hockey. A lot of things to look forward to in the sports world here on WMBS.
And again, we'll see the folks on Friday from Washington and Jefferson. Again, your final score tonight, Laurel Highlands 11 and Ringgold 1. So long, everybody, from Hutchinson Field in Hopwood.
You've been listening to another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day, coverage of high school baseball here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live, which has been brought to you by the C. Harper Auto Group, Fayette County Recorder of Deeds John Marietta, State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman, General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek, Uniontown Detailing, the Centers for Rehab Services and Physical Therapist Jim Burns, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, M&R Transit, the Radcliffe Law Firm, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Insurance Agent David Hughes, Potter's Bar and Grill, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, Ted Sova and Son Body and Fender Repair, Shop and Save Walnut Hill in Uniontown, the Somerset Trust Company, the Catholic War Veterans Post 1669 in Hopwood, NovaCare Rehabilitation, Jimmy John's in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Peachin's Pharmacy, Casey's Sports Cafe, M&R Transit, Ford of Uniontown, and by Mama Ruka's Pizza Shop.